So if you didn't know, Hogwarts Legacy has in fact been delayed for the Nintendo Switch all the way to November of 2023, and I think this delay actually confirms something that I've been speculating about for a while, and I think I was wrong in a previous video. Also, there's a big reason that this delay could actually be a good thing for Nintendo Switch owners. We're gonna go over all that here today. But first, if you missed this announcement, it came back on May 12th from the folks at Avalanche. They said Hogwarts Legacy launches on Nintendo Switch on 11/14/23. We know fans are looking forward to playing on Switch, therefore creating the best possible experience is our top priority. Thank you for your patience. And then they proceed to say which versions it is currently available on. Okay, so why is this a good thing? Because I know the Switch owners out there who have been waiting for this. This was really kind of a gut punch to the fact that you're gonna have to wait even longer. It's not easy. But reason number one I think it could be a good thing is they do show that they are focused on delivering the best experience possible. If you look at the PS4 and the Xbox One versions, those actually turned out much better than a lot of people were expecting. There are plenty of breakdown videos out there already that show you exactly how each version runs, but overall I would say that those on the platform still got generally the same experience that the rest of us did for Hogwarts Legacy, albeit with more bells and whistles if you were on the current gen versions. So I think that's a good sign that Avalanche was able to deliver that same quality experience on those platforms, and you hope they'll be able to bring the same to the Nintendo Switch. Okay, now here's what I think I may have gotten wrong. So back when they first announced the Switch version, which if you remember, was not planned from the beginning. That actually came after the initial announcement of the game. And they didn't even make a really big deal about it. It was almost kind of like it was a side note. And so my speculation for a while is that this was going to be a cloud-based version of Hogwarts Legacy and not an actual physical copy of the game running natively on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, this is actually a thing. If you didn't know about this, there's a list of about 20 or so games according to Nintendo Life here that are available on the Switch as a cloud version. The idea here is that instead of the game running natively on the hardware, it's actually being streamed from a server somewhere else. So this means no physical copies for one, but then you don't even have to download and save it to your Switch. It just streams from the server. Now, why would they do something like this, you may ask? Well, there are some advantages of this. First of all, you don't have to worry about having an underpowered system because you're actually streaming from something that is potentially even more powerful, probably a really powerful PC. So you could get great frame rates, really nice graphics, all the nice effects, all while playing on a Nintendo Switch. The downside, of course, is that this is totally reliant on your internet connection. So if you have a really good connection and if you're plugged in hardwired, you're probably gonna have a pretty good experience. If you're on spotty Wi-Fi though, then it's not gonna be so great. Also, the Switch is a portable system by nature, so removing that feature is really unfortunate for a lot of people. However, I suppose it is a nice compromise on some of these games that may not have been made available otherwise. So because Hogwarts Legacy is such a vast open world game and looks pretty nice on the current gen systems, I've been of the opinion for a while that they would just not be able to get this running natively on the Switch and that it would instead be a cloud version of the game, streaming from a server somewhere else on a more powerful system. But I think this announcement pretty much confirms that that is not the case. Now again, we can't say 100%, but I find it really hard to believe that they would delay a game this long if it was only a cloud version. What this delay says to me instead is that they're taking the proper time and really focusing to make sure that the Switch is also a quality experience like we've seen on PS4 and Xbox One. So if you had seen my previous video on that and you were concerned with maybe this is going to be a cloud version, I think you can feel pretty confident now that that is not going to be the case. Now there's also one other really cool thing that I think may be happening when the Switch version finally releases, hopefully in November. Hopefully they're able to stick to that. But before we talk about that, I think we have to look at where Hogwarts Legacy is at right now from a marketing perspective, from a community perspective, because I will say, even though I have personally been done with the game for months now, the folks over at Avalanche and WB have really done a nice job of keeping the conversation around this game going. They've been doing the Hogwarts Legacy live streams. We've seen consistent tweets from them. I've still seen commercials and advertisements for the game. It's obviously sold incredibly well, and anytime they've been asked about DLC, the answer has pretty much been we were focused on getting the PS4 and the Xbox One versions out. Now that those versions are out though, does that conversation shift in any way? I mean, you would presume that they're gonna say, okay, now we're focused on the Switch version, and I think that's probably the case. I do still remain very confident that Hogwarts Legacy DLC will happen. It's just a matter of when. We don't know how much work, if any, has been done on it so far. I think we do know from studying the industry and from seeing what happens with other games, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that was cut. A lot of things that didn't make it into the final game. And you would hope that some of these ideas that they really wanted to get in, maybe they're saving it, setting it aside for a sequel, or setting it aside for a potential DLC. Now, honestly, I would absolutely love to see a November DLC right alongside the launch of the Switch. That would just really inject some new hype and excitement into the community. But something tells me that we're not gonna get DLC until 2024. I hope I'm wrong on that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, the one other really cool thing that I think could be happening when the Switch version launches is I do think we we could see the release of more new cosmetics through the Twitch drops. They did this when the game released on current gen, they did this when the game released on last gen, and I think it would be really cool if they did it yet again when it releases on Nintendo Switch. Because as of June 2nd, the current Twitch drops that they were doing are done. So the Professor Ronan gear, that's finished. The Merlin cloak that everyone wanted so bad, that's finished, at least for now. So I think it would be great to see those come back. Don't forget, we also have Quidditch Champions. We also have Harry Potter Magic Awakened. Quidditch Champions, we still have no idea when that one is going to release. Magic Awakened, they're saying this summer here in the US and the UK. Fingers crossed it's actually going to happen. I really hope so. I have never played it, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it just has me feeling so nostalgic about all the Harry Potter video games. In fact, I recently went on my own little quest here in the real world to buy every single Harry Potter game. I had so much fun making this video, guys. You should absolutely check that one out next. It's here on the right side of your screen. As always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.